thing that, well, first of all, let's do our centering. Hello. Do we want to wait a couple of more minutes, or because I know I've been having issues getting onto Zoom, or should we get started? Because I know your time is valuable.
Let's get started.
Okay. So let's just take a minute or two to center. And then today, as always, bring what you need to at the table. And okay, so let's start with our eyes, our feet on the ground, eyes closed. We're going to take 4 deep ha breaths in through our nose. Out.
Hello?
One more time.
Good morning.
Morning.
We had trouble getting on this morning.
Oh, I've muted myself. Yeah, we're all having an issue today. So what we're doing right now is we're just going to center ourselves. So if we can close our eyes, we're going to clear all the mind clutter that we have right now before we get started. So for those of you who have taken your 4 deep breaths, and those of you who are catching up, just take your breaths. And with every inhale, I want you to imagine that you're inhaling light, fresh, clean, renewed. And as you're exhaling all that stress, anxiety, and overwhelm. So you're inhaling light, fresh, renewed, and you're exhaling all the negativity that's in your mind right now. You're letting go all the worries and cares. As you inhale, you're inhaling that light, focus, and exhaling all your worries away. So as you are taking your breaths and you're inhaling, I want you to focus on the space between the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4. As you're inhaling, think light and what's your purpose? 1, 2, 3, 4. As you inhale, you're inhaling light. 1, 2, 3, 4. I want you to sit with yourself and I want you to ask yourself, what's the one thing you want to learn today? What's the one thing you need to learn today? And how are you going to show up today? 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Now I want you to take 4 deep ha breaths again. And on your 4th breath, open your eyes. One more. Good. How was that for everyone? Good. So Arian's muted everyone. Thank you, Arian. When you want to speak, just unmute yourself. And so what challenges are you guys facing right now? Let's take it, let's bring it, and let's role play. I like how Danny's laughing. She's like, what are we? So, okay, so Danny, we're going to start with you, ma'am. What is the one thing you'd like to bring to the table to role play? If you can unmute yourself, please.
Let's see. Right now, I'm focusing on time blocking right now. So it's really hard to role play that, but that's kind of where I'm focused because that's been where I've been lacking, and I recognize it. So I'm sorry. That's okay. Sorry.
Okay, as your team leader, I get to encourage you on this one. Role play what you learned yesterday, please.
So here's what I want to, when we talk about time blocking, we talk about finding your niche. There's someone that I had asked for her permission to share with you guys and gals her story with y'all. Lisa, Beth, Laura, Gloria, and Tara and Mariana are all clients that I coach, and Karen's on her iPhone, and they'll all share with you in regards to, they can role play that with you, because that's one thing that I'm on top of them. But I really want Lisa to talk about how important it is to find your niche and also stick with your schedule. So Lisa, would you share just a couple of minutes with everyone how we started our journey and where you are now?
Okay, I've only been in MAPS coaching for about 15 months. Trying to focus on the next level, but I felt like I was going into too many different places. I was time blocking, but not following it and not nearly as well as I should. Teresa finally has me understanding that I need to focus on my niche. And my niche is an incredibly small sphere of influence. It's quilters. I'm a big quilter, fiber art designer, and we've got this huge guild of 1,100 women, and the average age is about 78, which is good for me because they're all selling and all that. But every morning I've time blocked about an hour. It's usually like 8:30 till about 9:30 that I'm on Facebook and social media, commenting and participating in conversations with my quilters and their quilts. Because you can look at my Facebook page and see all about my quilts and very little about real estate. So once I found my niche with Teresa's guidance, it was now I comment on my quilters, but then I look and see who their quilt friends are and I Facebook friend them. So when they see that, I mean, Michelle's probably telling everybody this, but when they see that I'm commenting on other art and then they can look and see my quilts, it goes into a real estate conversation because I have quilters that I'm working for. Quilters is about 60% of my business right now. So,
and the reason why, thank you, Lisa, that I wanted her to share this with you guys, and it also is about time blocking, is because sometimes we think that we've got to go in 20 different directions, and we just need to find our niche.
Just one. Yeah, I still do open houses before COVID. I don't do as many mailers, but I do a lot of note cards and a lot of birthday cards and anniversary cards, anniversaries on home buyers. But the Facebook and the niche in that time blocking time of 8:30 to 9:30 is really starting to pay off.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing how much it's paying off.
She just wrote 1.1 million in sales during this time when we're all,
thank you,
quarantine. And so, with each of you, the one thing I always ask, what's your strength, right? And I know, like with Beth and John, it's their sphere. I mean, they call 180 people, they're going to get 160 people to answer them. Wow. Laura, same thing with Laura. She does her sphere. Mariana, same thing. We're, her Slovenian connections as well. And Tara, we're talking about, because she's in an area also where it's completely shut down, in calling her sphere and getting these referrals. And Gloria was calling her, her sphere of her Bible study gals and got 2 buyers from that. So yes, we are in a time where it's, we have to think out of the box. Yet if we think about it, we're doing what we've been told to do the whole time, which is call our database. And so, Danny, when we talk about scheduling and you hear from Lisa, she's like 8:30 to 9:30, she's just doing an hour and she's getting people because she's been uber focused on that one group for about 8-9 months now.
Right. Hyper focused for the last 3. So.
And I had my call with Beth and John yesterday and they're like, yeah, we got 5 buyers and 3 listing appointments. I'm like, holy cow. Well, let's take a look at what your numbers are. If this quarantine wasn't happening, you're hitting your goals, right? Gloria, 2 buyers. Mariana just got a contract under. Laura's getting listings and buyers, and Tara the same thing. And Karen, So I'm telling you this, who I don't coach, who are new to this call, so that your mindset can hear what I'm saying. There's business to be had. And as Diana Kokoska says in bold, it's yours if you want it. Right?
Absolutely.
So, Danny, let's unmute you. And Lisa, thank you again. And if anybody has any questions, like Lisa, big heart, she'll answer anything outside of this call. If you want to ask her what, there are systems and models that she and I have done together to get to where she is. So, and it's just creating that relationship with your people, calling them, inviting them to coffee. Okay, so Miss Danny, let's get back to you and your calendar. What about your schedule? What obstacles are getting in your way?
Actually, one of the huge obstacles was actually just getting on the phone and following up with, I was already doing my care calls, so those conversations were great. They were normal and calm, and just joyful kind of conversations. But as far as getting on and actually generating new business, following up on old leads, everything, like that, it was very, my mindset was not there. I looked at it in a view of, oh my gosh, I'm calling these people, I'm bothering them during these times. I don't want to seem insincere because that's the last thing I want to do. So I had the opportunity to talk with another MAPS coach yesterday, and we came up with a really great script. And that script actually, in the whole conversation with time blocking and everything I'm doing right now, the change in my morning routine has just turned it all around. So yesterday was my first day going back to actually picking up the phone, and I time blocked my lead gen time. Awesome. And actually picked up the phone, had some great conversations, and got a potential seller lead. So it was like, I was overthinking it.
So is that mindset that you're bothering people still there?
Not as much, but it is still kind of there. So I'm trying not to listen to my drunk monkey.
Okay, so let's do a little technique really quick. It'll take just a couple of minutes, because what will happen is that will show back up. Right? And we don't want it to. So
correct.
So the thought that you have is that you're bothering people, and how does that make you feel when you feel that you're bothering people?
Salesy,
Okay.
And I think also, just to let you know, my background is I've had over 22 years in the automotive as a finance director, sales side.
Gotcha.
So, you just never want to come across as that salesy person. I mean, but I love people. I love my relationships. Once I get to in front of the person, it's fine. It's just on the phone.
So is that 100% true that you're salesy with people all the time, or you just feel that you are? Okay.
No, it's only when I'm on the phone with people that I feel salesy. But when I'm face to face, it just, it's now a relationship. You're now my friend.
What about being on the phone makes you feel salesy?
Because I can't see them, And so I'm trying to really pay attention to their tone and everything. But if I don't have that connection where I can really see them, then I don't feel connected.
So connection is important to you.
Absolutely.
So what other ways can you feel connected to someone when you're talking to them on the phone?
I'm trying to get into the Zooming and virtually, so consultations. This is, as you see, I'm trying to adjust to lighting, all of this.
What else, Danny, could you do to feel connected to someone? Let's say that you didn't have Zoom. How could you make that connection or that rapport with someone?
That's where I'm at a loss.
Okay.
Yeah.
May I share something with you?
Please,
Okay.
all the help.
So how would it sound when you're calling someone and you ask about their children, or you ask, how's your day going?
Just like a normal call,
right?
Would start out, yeah.
And so when you make that connection and when you have rapport with someone, how do you, how does that make you feel?
Makes me feel good.
Okay. Yeah. When someone asks you, hey, how are you doing today? Just wanted to call and say hi. Just checking in on you. Does that sound salesy?
No, that does not. No.
Perfect. So if you were to take that approach and that new positive belief that if you were to create a rapport that you have with someone like Michelle or friends, family, with these past clients that you bought with, do you feel that positive new belief would change the way you look at it?
Absolutely. Yes. The mindset of going in. Yes.
Good. So what I want you to do is every time you make a call, I want you to tell yourself that you're going to create a great rapport with this person, a great connection with them. When that unwarranted, inappropriate belief that you had starts to pop up, you're going to knock it out by your new positive belief. Okay?
Okay.
Awesome.
Yes.
That was a little fast, but that's basically what we do in transformation. Okay, so next. Who is next? Who would like to do a role play?
Before you guys do that, can I say something to Danny? This is Geneva.
Hi, Geneva.
Hey, Danny, you are one of the warmest people that I know. I would trust you. If I was just a consumer, I would trust you. So never think bad about yourself because you come off very warm. So just have to say that.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Geneva. Okay, so who's got something they want to role play? Bueller.
I have another question.
Call on someone. Huh?
I have a question for Danny. She had mentioned that someone had shared with her a great script that she's using, because I do feel like how to make that transition once you're having that conversation with people. What did they share with you? Would you mind sharing with us?
Oh, absolutely. I would be more. I'm glad you asked. Yeah, absolutely. So that's something we can script. If that's Teresa, is that okay?
Absolutely.
Okay,
yeah,
perfect.
This is your forum, y'all. This is for y'all.
Okay, so ring ring.
Hello.
Hey Tara, good morning. This is Danny with Keller Williams Realty. How are you today?
I'm doing well, Danny. How are you?
Oh, not too bad. I was actually just calling because we had met at an open house about 3 years ago. I'm not sure if you remember, it was a really cute house. You had commented about the back porch and everything. And so I was just calling because during these times, we're just reaching out to connections and seeing how are you doing? And, if there's anything that we can help you with. So how are you, Tara?
Doing well. I appreciate the call. Yeah, I do remember that cute little house on the corner. I love that backyard. So yeah, that's funny that you should call me about that.
Yeah, well, we were just kind of reaching out. But if I may be so bold, to ask you for some help.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Well,
not a problem.
Great. Actually, Tara, the reason why I was also calling was to check on you and your family, and to also see if you had known of anybody who is looking to sell their home in the area that you're at. I have some buyers that are looking for a 3 2-bedroom in your area, and they're very qualified, but we're having a hard time trying to find the right home and you know, what is going to fit their needs. And so if you happen to know of anybody, that would really help them out. Do you happen to know of someone?
Well, it's funny you should mention that, because I was talking to my neighbor, keeping, of course, social distancing, and they had mentioned that they're looking to eventually move out of the area to another state. So I can certainly, you know, pass their information along to you. You know, you just never know.
That would be great. And I can reach out to them and just see if it will work for a win-win for everybody. So that would be awesome. Absolutely. So Terry, did you ever happen to find the home that you were looking for?
Well, no, we actually stay put, but we do hear that interest rates are really good now. So I think we're going to explore what's going on in the market, because this might be a good time to buy.
Well, that's so great that you mentioned that. So actually, Tara, what I can just do is, rates are really low, but what I can do is forward you my app. It's a personalized app that we can customize to you in the areas you're looking for. And then that way you can kind of see what's going on in the market, and we can talk a little bit more when it's good for you. Sound good?
Yeah, that sounds really good.
Awesome. Very good. Well, and then that way I'll also I'll forward my lender's information. She can talk to you at your convenience, and I'll talk to your neighbor, and I look forward to seeing you soon.
That sounds awesome. Thank you so much, Danny, for the call.
Absolutely. Thank you, Tara.
All right.
So with that script, you're hopefully get a seller, your buyers, another buyer maybe, and your app out there. So it just kind of, it was a script that I'm tweaking as I go, but I really liked it.
It
Thank you
didn't
for
sound
sharing. So whoever wants it, Danny, just send it to Arian, and Arian will share it with everybody that's on this call.
Arian, okay, I will get the information. Absolutely.
Yeah. Or you can, Michelle will send it to Arian. Thank you for sharing that. Awesome. Okay, so who has something that they want to role play? Who else? Miss Gloria, I believe that you may. You like how I do my eyebrows?
I'm not sure what you're implying or where you're going with this. So you want to do a role play for?
Yeah. Is there anything that you would like to role play?
Well, I have a for sale by owner. He's a very seasoned elderly man, and I keep in touch with him, but he's very reluctant to list with any agent. He always says, you know, maybe you could come up with some script for me, a good thing to catch his attention. But he always says, like, I'll sell it for this price, but of course, you add your commission on top of that. And I'd love to come up with a winning line to show him that I'm different, that he should sign on with me, because he probably has about 20 properties.
Oh, wow.
But
this is a great role play. So who wants to? Yeah,
I just know where he's. I know where he stands, and I wish I could be more salesy, I suppose, to get him.
Well, it's about finding what his motivation is and the value, what's important to him. So who wants to go with this? This is a really good one, y'all. Because what's the one thing I've been encouraging all of y'all to start doing for sell by owners and expireds? Fastest source of business right now. You want a listing, you need to get, you know, your database first, that sphere of influence, and then right at those expireds and for sell by owners. So who wants to go for it?
Teresa, keep in mind, and that's why we want to strategize. He's an older man, and over the years, the realtors that he lists with, they don't do anything. He says they come, put a sign, just like our script. They
Okay.
pay somebody else up. And so he's made that very clear. So he's not interested in signing the exclusive agency with me. So this has been going on for 6 months now, that I call him every month, say, what do you have? Maybe I'll bring a buyer, and I'm just keeping in touch with him. But how can I?
Okay. So who wants to take it? You guys want me to?
Yes,
Okay.
Teresa.
Okay. Awesome. Okay. So, so Gloria, you know, you and I, we've been keeping in touch for about 6 months now, right?
Yeah,
And
right.
so in what you've told me before is that a lot of the realtors that you listed with, all they did was put your home on the market and they didn't really do anything. And it's understandable that you would be very hesitant to list your home with another agent, yet I hope that you can see that I will faithfully be there for you. I mean, for 6 months now, I've been calling and checking in on you. How does that make you feel, Gloria, knowing that I'm committed to building that relationship with you?
I think, yeah, you have been doing that, and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I still want my freedom, and I don't want to really hold tight to anyone in
Okay.
particular. Or bring me a buyer.
Yeah. So, okay. So, well, what else is important to you besides your freedom?
Making sure my spouse is set. I know I got to get these affairs in order.
Yeah.
And I have commercial properties and land and residences too. So.
Wow. That's awesome. It sounds like you've got a lot of real estate that you own. I bet that can be a
Yes.
bit overwhelming whenever you think about that. And you know, I know for myself, peace of mind having my accountant who does my taxes for me and looks at my books, because that's what she specializes in. So, you know, how would it make you feel to be able to have your freedom and spend time with your wife and hire the right real estate agent who shows that they're loyal and will take care of you so that you can have that freedom that you're saying you'd like? Would that be something?
Oh, I like. Yeah, that sounds good in theory, but so many realtors have come up to me and said they're the right realtor, and
Yeah.
I'm not pleased with what they've done over the years.
Well, that's the other realtors. That's not me. And so if we were to come up with a plan that can give you the freedom that you're saying you would like, and also that connection and that support that I can give you, then would you be willing to sit down with me and talk about a relationship, a working relationship?
I'll have to think about it.
Okay, well, let's say that you didn't have to think about it. Right now, you were to make a decision to meet with me.
Well, I met you for 6 months, but there's other realtors that I have known for years.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
so,
and so what I've heard you say though is the other realtors, they weren't the right fit for you.
well, they didn't seem to be doing what I wanted them to do.
Yeah, that's what you've shared with me. So it is good to know other realtors, yet I'd love the opportunity to sit with you. Would you give me that opportunity?
Okay, yeah, we had already met too, just off the
Okay.
record.
Well, perfect. Yet it's been 6 months, and so a lot's changed in the market. So would you give me the opportunity to sit down again and meet with you?
Yes, I'll do that.
Okay, perfect. So did you guys see how I tied in when she said that he wanted his freedom? And what I did was I said, ooh, freedom. Okay, well, Like my accountant, she gives me the freedom of not worrying about my money because she does my taxes, my investments, and everything like that. So if you hire me, I can give you that freedom you want to go spend time with your wife. So it's trying to find the value, Gloria. I think if you go about it that way with him, you'll get that appointment. He's going to give you, like you were giving me pushback. I'm sure he'll give it to you. Don't go into the story with him. He's creating a story about the other agents. Don't go in that story with them. Cut it right off. Okay, great. Yes, I know you've shared that with me about other agents yet. We're talking about us.
Yeah, he's always happy to meet. He's very social man, but I think that's part of his fueling is that he has his hands in everything. So even to agree to a meeting and not go that far, because I was willing to meet with him twice already, and he's very open to it. But we did make one meeting, and I'll keep working with him. I do like your line about well, not me. Somehow you separated me. How did you do that? What did you say? Where you said, well, that was other agents, but not me. You said, this is me.
Well, because he said, I know other agents or something like that. And yeah, I know you've already told me that. Yeah, we're talking about us. Like you've told me, you've also shared with me that the other agents didn't do a good job. That's not me. I've been loyal. I've called you 6 months in a row. Laura had something to share. Laura?
Could you just ask them what it would take for you to list the property? These are what these agents did. What is your extra expectation? That's what I ask people.
I did. I said to him the first time we met, he met me at the Carl's Jr. and he had a whole list of his properties. And I said, wow, I said, this is exciting. I said, what would it take for me to list all these? And he just chuckled and he said, oh, I'm not ready to list all of them. He says, this is just what I have.
Then could you ask him what it would take for you to list one?
Yeah, I could ask him.
I mean, just directly ask him, what can I do to list just one property? I hear that you've had some bad experiences with other agents. What did they do? Find out what they did and then tell them how you're different.
Ask them what they didn't do also. What did they do and what didn't they do?
Okay, on the side though, his property is really different. Like he has 13 unfinished townhomes. And they're right in the middle of getting done. This is the third phase of his townhomes. And 6 months ago, he told me he wanted 400. And now just when I talked to him last week, he says he wants 500.
So it's the same question, Gloria. How can I help you?
Okay, so just
how can I help you?
Eliminate all this stuff.
You're telling me freedom's important to you, spending time with your wife is important to you. How can I help you? This is what I do. I'm a professional. You wouldn't give your own self a root canal, would you? No, you'd go to a specialist for that. You wouldn't, metaphors, use metaphors. Because if he's got that and he's telling you that spending time with his wife is important, having his freedom is important, well, golly, man, you got that many properties, you must be really busy looking after those. What would it do for you if you had someone handling this for you, a professional?
Yeah, just a correction. He's not as interested in spending time with his wife. He's concerned that he's gonna die and she's left with all this craziness. That's what.
Oh my gosh, even better. Holy cow!
I know exactly.
Doesn't that give you peace of mind knowing that you've got a professional taking care of this for you that will communicate with you? That you need to go for that. And just like Laura said, what did they do? What didn't they do?
That's good. Okay.
I'll call
him today.
Can you ask the gentleman if he and his wife would like to meet with you? Because if she's included in the decision, she's going to help him move this along.
it's neat that you say that because now I'm remembering the first time I met him was with the buyer. I brought a buyer and we went to discuss those 13 townhomes. He had us meet us at his house. And that was the first meeting. And she was there at the table. She sat with us. So I already have rapport with her. So really you guys are kind of showing me that I'm already in a good spot. I've met her. I met his disabled son. And
here's the
Get
thing.
her involved.
There's
Get her
just that-
involved.
Yeah. There's
she is involved.
that one piece that's missing. That's it. And it's really about showing him, hey, this is what you're telling me. If the conditional close, then. Okay, you got this.
Yeah.
Become friends.
I'm glad. It's encouraging.
Take a
What's
wife
that?
for coffee. Become friends with the wife.
Yes.
She actually answers the emails, and she's like the secretary. She sends me all the tax assessors, the maps. When I'm pursuing a property with the buyer, I'm trying to do what he wants me to do, which is find a buyer, because he does have some good deals. And from time to time, I do consider his property and end up calling him. And it's a good reason to catch up with him and see how he's doing. And then I'll ask him about a particular property and his wife usually. So yeah, I was thinking that too, that his wife may feel better getting to know me. Should the unfortunate happen where he's not around, like he's worried, then maybe the wife and I could continue on doing some business.
You'll be the one who will help her. You will take the worries away.
Yeah. Cool. Good.
Thank you.
Oh, anyone else who's got something?
I
know someone does. Okay.
Well, something that I just heard now, expired. Well, I'm from Canada, so we cannot actively go after expired. But like, for example, but I still do, like, around, I find a way. I just want to know this time in COVID, how would you call expired? What would you tell them? Same, like, I don't know, like, just want to know what, like, how would that script go?
Okay. Anyone have anything
Because
to share?
they don't know me. Like, it would be a total cold call, right? Like, they don't know me. I'm going after expired. So in COVID, when everybody's afraid of, people coming to the house and all that. So anyways, anyone?
Anybody want to role play with her? Come on, guys. Okay, so Mariana, one thing, what's the one thing, and this is like a recurring theme, right?
So Teresa,
yeah,
Neva is the queen of scripts. So wake up here and help these people. Geneva's the one with 20959.
Okay, Geneva, can she put herself on, or are you on the line?
I don't know if she's on her phone. Okay, there she got.
Okay, can you please role play this with Mariana?
Sure. Okay. You want me to be the expired?
Yeah, you're an agent who's calling expired.
Okay. 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 Ring, ring.
Hello.
Answer. Oh, yes. Is this Mrs. Williams?
Yes.
Oh, hi, Mrs. Williams. This is Geneva Bamadili. I'm a realtor with Keller Williams here in Stockton. I just noticed that your property just expired, and I was wondering, are you still motivated to sell the property?
Well, our property just expired before this COVID happened, and so we would be interested, yes, but not now.
Okay. Well, what can I ask you? Why do you feel it expired? Why do you feel it didn't sell?
Well, I'm sure that that it was probably an agent. Like, I don't think they did a good job.
Okay, so you don't think they did a good job promoting your property?
Promoting the property, yeah.
Okay, and it sounds like there's still some motivation for you to sell it?
We'd like to sell it, yes, but now we hear that the prices are down, there's less sales, so we're very confused.
Well, I have to tell you that we still have some very active, strong buyers, and really the buyers that are out there, they're the ones that are really serious. Our interest rates, sorry, I don't know what your interest rates in Canada. Our interest rates are at a 60-year low. So this is actually still, and there's not a lot of inventory, so that really puts you in a good place. I would like to meet with you if I could, just kind of show you what I do to get property sold. Would you be willing to meet with me?
Well, isn't that, I don't know, a little bit risky right now?
Well, we can set it up via Zoom. Do you have a computer?
We do, yes.
Okay. Well, I could send you the information to have a Zoom call with me, and then I could go over what I do with you to get property sold. Because it sounds like you still have the desire to sell it. It sounds like.
Yes, we would like to sell, but we're afraid. We're afraid. Of course, we don't want to give the house away. And now everybody was telling me, like, the market may crash and all that, so we're afraid.
Right, I understand. Everybody is kind of in the same situation, and nobody really knows for sure how this is going to all play out. You might be at the top of your equity, but I would like to at least meet with you and kind of go over what I could do to get it sold, and we could go from there. How does that sound?
That sounds reasonable, yes.
Okay. Well, I have Tuesday at 2, or I could Zoom in with you Thursday at 4. Which one would work better for you?
At 4 is good.
Okay, that sounds great. Can I get your email address? I'm going to send you the information to Zoom call with me.
Okay, very good. Wow.
Okay, great. I so look forward to speaking with you.
Thank you. So it looks like I was overthinking. I was overthinking about this. It's just like okay. Thank you so much. That was great, Geneva.
You're welcome. And I haven't had my coffee yet, so.
Feedback, anything extra that you guys want to share with Mariana to help?
Please.
Anything y'all want to add?
I just think you have to look for what's motivating them, because that's what you're going to use. You know what I mean? That's how you're going to get to them. Whatever it is that was motivating them to sell it, you're going to bring them back to that.
Well, I thought it was important to note Mariana's fear, and it seemed like the response was very positive and validating, but also encouraging. My question would be, what if the seller didn't have Zoom? What could you do then? If the seller felt like they didn't want to Zoom?
Over the phone?
I don't know. Yeah, I guess over the phone. Yeah.
Yeah, or we're still going in person. We're still taking some appointments. We just got locked down for another month, but if people are willing to see us, we are still going out on appointments, and we are actively showing live showings. The other thing that we've been tracking more is the stats, where you can maybe, and I don't know about your market, but our market, it's shrinking. I mean, we're tracking what's going under contract, what's coming up new, and what's closing daily. And in our markets, the inventory is shrinking that much more. So, I would just share stats with them and show them hard numbers to say, you're really, the buyers that are out there, like, like she said on the call, was awesome, but just really, elaborate that you're in a good position. It's supply and demand right now.
Yeah.
Right. I'm thinking that the email would have been helpful to send things and then give her a time to look through them. And if the seller was willing to meet in person, I jump on it and take precaution. But if the seller felt they didn't want to do Zoom and they didn't want to meet in person because they're too concerned about the COVID, that make a call just to go over those statistics, a specific call to talk about the price of her home. So I think you could still do it on the phone but it's winning that second appointment or that first appointment.
I have a client also, Colin. He's not been able to make it to our calls because they do their team meeting on Wednesdays at this time. But he literally, we had our call yesterday, and he told me, he said, "Oh my gosh, one of his buyers went to make an offer on a property, and they had 10 offers, and then another buyer went to make an offer, 4 offers." And I'm like, okay, what can you do with that news? Because he had like 6 sellers say that they wanted to take their properties off because of coronavirus. 6. That, I mean, he's like the 2 little kids, and he managed to keep 4 of them on. 2 of them came off because of that. I said, so what can you do with this news? He's like, I'm going straight to my sellers. I didn't even have to tell him. I just asked him that question. He's like, I'm taking that to my sellers, all my sellers, and the ones that wanted to hold off, take their properties off. So if you've had someone who's taken their properties off because of this, share this news. Guys, we're seeing multiple offers right now. And it truly is, because interest rates are at an all-time low. And there's not a lot of inventory.
In our market, that's true, but only more for the lower price, the 250 and below.
Well, then if that's what you got to go for, that's, you go where the bread is, right? For now. I mean, and so like, if that's what's selling, when we look at expired listings and we look at for sell by owners are super easy. And I mean, and expireds were my favorite things to do whenever I was full-time in real estate. Yet some of them I would keep in touch with for a year, and they would list with me because I was the only agent that kept in touch with them. That's why I'm saying, for 6 months, you've been in touch with this man. That shows loyalty. Yeah. That shows commitment. So when you're going for an expired listing, be really intentional. Don't be entrepreneurial. Be purposeful. Look at the price that's moving, the area that's moving. Yeah, sure, we all want $1 million plus listing. Yet if they don't move in our area, and our goal is to have 3 closings in July, or and get closings out, would we go for that $1 million, which isn't moving, or would we go for the price point that's moving? Michelle's laughing. No, it's true, right?
Piece of the pie is better than none.
Exactly. Listen, we can always go for that $1 million listing. Right now, we're going for the throat. We're going for the meat. We're going to make money. And I want to challenge every single one of y'all to do 1 expired listing a day. Now, for those of you who I coach and those who have already agreed to X amount, keep that and add this one on top. Because if we can start to build our listing inventory and take over market share, and we work on it now, think of where we're going to be when all this is gone and released. It's funny because I look at competition. I'm very, in a way, competitive in that sense. And I'm looking at these agents that went to Compass from Keller Williams, and their business is down. And I truly believe it's because they don't have the support that we have. 100%. And we're talking like they were doing $1 million, $2 million in GCI plus a year. And I'm looking at it, and one only has 2 pendings. And I'm like, oh, dude, she's got like 15 people on her team and people that she's like paying for. She's not going to be able to sustain that. No way. So I want to challenge every single one of you guys. 1 expired a day. Sending them a note card, hand note card. Hey, saw you had your home listed. I'm here to help. What can I do? Here's my number. That's simple. Don't send them like 5 pages stapled. Send them just a hand note card. And for those of you who can go out, maybe even put a little plant on their doorstep. Just wanted to brighten your day. Wanted to bring a little sunshine in this, during this time. How can I help you? Here's someone you can call. They'll tell you what kind of realtor I am, or they'll tell you, here's a reference, a referral. Call them, please. So we talk about being a disruptor in leadership. Michelle knows this. I'm like, how can you be a disruptor, right? What can you do to disrupt the market? Well, what can you do as an agent to disrupt the market? What can you do to be a disruptor in your area? When we're in a time where you can't even and here I go again, right? I'm getting passionate, I'm about to cry. I'm very sensitive and passionate for those of you who know me for a while. The 12-year-old boy, I told you I've been going through something. He passed away 3 doors down. He was like a son to me. Oh. I found out in Trader Joe's that he had passed. I'm sobbing my eyes out, and no one could hug me because of the coronavirus. And I am a very social, hugging, loving person. I had people going, oh, I really want to hug you, but I can't. And I'm just trembling and crying because I'd lost someone that was like a son to me, who grew up as best friends with my 13-year-old. So when we're in this world where we can't even we have to have masks on, what can you do to make someone smile?
Teresa, thank you so much for sharing. I really, really appreciate this. And this person's probably going to be, Michelle, what are you doing? I'm going to call Ashley out right now. You guys, Ashley Pradell is the #1 agent in our area, the #1 agent. She's a single mom, 30 years old, a flippin' rock star, 130 under 30, and I'm sure she has something to add to this conversation here because she is consistently pushing her ceiling.
Yeah.
She came to us from blah, blah, blah company. She became a sponge. I asked her we crossed a threshold. I said, hey, you're the #1 cat at blah, blah, blah. She's like, yeah. I'm like, what would it feel like if you were the #1 agent, the #1 agent in da-da-da-da-da, and she's like, really? I'm like, yeah. So get your pen and pencil out because your mind's going to be blown. Because we walked into agent expansion class, right? And, 800 transactions, 2,000 transactions. So now she is so purposeful with her team, and you think I have energy? Triple mine. So Ashley, you are on. Share something of value that connected with Teresa, please.
Oh man, I really like the 1 a day. I joined in very late, but I really liked that you said go for what's moving because I have a lot of high-end stuff right now and none of it's moving. So I am all for that. And we really amped up our lead gen strategies. And I kicked up I just signed up yesterday for Land Voice. And that's my goal actually is connect and call the expired. So I am going to start that actually right after I get off of this phone call. And I need a script for that actually. I don't know if you guys already went through that, but yeah, I like that. That's my goal is to connect and get at least, my goal has always been 1 listing appointment a week and 1 buyer contract a week. And I always end up exceeding that goal, but I like having the smaller goal because I know I can hit it.
Well, we call it a SMART goal, right? And
yes.
And I've done this AIM SMART with my clients where what's acceptable, what's ideal, and what's in the middle. And then is it specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-oriented? So, because what we don't want is you not to hit your goal and then you get discouraged.
Yep.
So awesome.
Sure.
And one more, can you give one nugget before we wrap this up? Ashley, is there anything else that you'd like to share with everyone? A nugget they can take?
Oh, I can't think of any. I haven't had any coffee yet. I just rolled out of bed.
Well,
I'm
would
so sorry.
you agree, and I know all of us would, that being a disruptor right now, like what I was just saying, how can you touch people when we can't be touched, yet we can touch them in that connection way that we were talking about earlier with Danny?
Mm-hmm.
How important has that been with your business?
Oh, very. So I do a lot of Facebook messages. I do a lot of text messages. I do a lot of calls. I do a lot of handwritten letters. I had to cancel my Easter event that I had planned. So I ended up like donating the eggs that I had stuffed and dropped them off at doorsteps. And then sending kids cards with stickers and just like touching base with people. And that's really helped out a lot.
Awesome.
So Ashley closed how many transactions last year, Ashley?
112.
Whoa.
Right on.
And then
Very
this
cool.
year, I think we're at 33 so far.
Very good. Cool. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
So, as always, guys, I love, adore you, and I'm so honored to work with y'all. And I continually learn and grow from you guys. And I just, from the bottom of my heart, truly love and care for each of you guys. And I'm so proud of y'all that y'all show up like you do. Go be a disruptor. Go lay in your grass, be a disruptor. Get out there and make a difference, truly make a difference for someone. Put a smile on their face.
Can I share one more thing?
Zig Ziglar would say, we don't know what someone's going through. And we truly don't know what someone's going through. We could be that change in someone that makes them and causes them to do something good. So
can I share one more thing, you guys? And so it's 9:00 my time. So in 2 hours, there's a huge mastermind on Zoom with Chris Suarez on Lucas. Help me here.
oh, guys, I got to go. I've got an 11 o'clock call.
So just like on Facebook, it's Lucas. I can't think of Lucas's last name, but go get it. You guys need to go see this one. This will be good.
Bye, guys.
Awesome.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
If I could send this to you guys. I'm trying to do it fast, and I'm not going to make it. Sorry.